Good tidings. This is the 18th edition of my 2660 plus life enhancers. This will deal with nasal dilators when you sleep. What does it matter about your nose when you sleep? Well, it's very important because, of course, when you sleep, you want to be breathing through your nose and not through your mouth. This is very difficult in practice to sustain for the entire evening. And unfortunately, it's a barrier, particularly for middle-aged men, but even for women. And they end up, the jaw drops, and they end up breathing through their mouth. But one of the ways that you can get over this problem is using nasal dilators. Because what nasal dilators will do is they will open up the nostrils, and in doing so, make it easier to breathe. And this is one area where the research, from what I've seen, tends to be pretty clear. Nobody's claiming that it's a cure-all and that it will eliminate 100% of the snoring and that it will cure sleep apnea, which is very much the extreme end. But if you have a mild form of snoring, the studies I've read certainly seem to suggest you might get a benefit of 10, 20, 30%, which is pretty good because it's always at the margins. Hopefully you'll get more over time using the techniques which I'll talk about in other videos, but this is not a bad way to go. So how do you do it? Well, you need to get a nasal dilator. Now, I've tried a number of different products, and the two that I'm going to show you here won't necessarily be the best for everyone, but given that I'm basically a fairly stock standard person, I'd recommend them. So this is the Mute. It's actually an Australian invention, which is great. So there we go. And you insert it in your nose, voila, opens up. It's a great little thing. Not super cheap. You've got to throw them out after a while because they get pretty yucky. But it definitely opens up the nose. And if you get the right size and once you get the hang of inserting it, it's really, really quite comfortable and does the job. The other one, which is like a Band-Aid almost, is called nasal strip. So what you do with that is you pull it out of the packet and you put it on the nose. So almost like putting a Band-Aid on your nose. These are very comfortable and work very well. I recommend going with the box for the sensitive skin. I don't know how anyone could wear the other nasal strips. They are a lot stronger, but they'll rip skin. Even these will over time, so I wouldn't recommend using them every night. And they get a little bit expensive because they're about $1 a pop because you've got to throw them out at the end of the night. So I wouldn't even necessarily recommend using them all the time. But if you've got the flu and you've got a blocked nose and you're having trouble sleeping, I know these have been an absolute lifesaver for me. This as well. Or even if you've got a runny nose, lifesaver. Because, of course, runny nose, not so good. So anyway, you might find other products that will suit you, and I think the nasal dilators are a great little addition that people should consider for their repertoire of getting an improved light sleep. Because so much of this stuff that you see online in these other areas, it's all focused on what's in the mind, which, yes, is true, but there are so many good, practical, easily implementable solutions that I don't know why more people don't take advantage of. So that's all I'm trying to share with you. So in conclusion, I would recommend for most people, really, because most people don't get a really good night's sleep. So give these a go, give the other Mute a go, or try similar products to open up that nose, makes it easier to breathe. And you might find over time you don't need it if you can almost sort of train your body around it and come up with other techniques, but it's definitely something I would strongly urge you to consider. So that's the end of this video, and the next installment will be the new series, which I'm really looking forward to. So hopefully I'll see you soon. Goodbye.